As Winston Churchill once said, those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So let's delve into the historical roots that have led to the Gaza-Israel conflict we see today. The story begins in 1948 with the establishment of the State of Israel. This event, known as the Nakba, or catastrophe in Arabic, resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their homes. This moment in history would become a cornerstone of the Palestinian narrative and a catalyst for future conflicts. Enter Hamas, an acronym for Harakat al-Muqawama al-Islamiyya, which translates to the Islamic Resistance Movement. Formed in 1987, Hamas emerged from the First Intifada, a Palestinian uprising against Israeli occupation. Over the years, Hamas has grown into a significant political and military force within the Palestinian territories, particularly in the Gaza Strip. In the years following its formation, the Gaza Strip has been subjected to a blockade by both Israel and Egypt. This blockade, a response to the election of Hamas, has resulted in restricted movement of goods and people in and out of Gaza. The blockade has exacerbated the already dire economic situation and has been a significant source of tension and conflict. The cycle of violence has been a constant companion to the people of Gaza and Israel. Hamas has launched rockets into Israel, and Israel has responded with bombing campaigns. This continuous exchange has resulted in countless casualties and has strained any hope for a peaceful resolution. The root of the conflict is complex, entwined with historical grievances, political ideologies, and territorial disputes. It's a story of a people displaced, of a land contested, and of a struggle for self-determination. Yet, amidst the turmoil, there are voices on both sides longing for peace, for a future where their children can grow up without fear. This historical context sets the stage for the ongoing strife we witness today. Fast forward to October 7, 2023, an ominous day marked by a surprise offensive by Hamas. The day began like any other, but soon the skies over Israel were filled with thousands of rockets launched from the Gaza Strip. This was no ordinary skirmish but a full-scale attack, breaching the Gaza-Israel barrier and striking fear into the hearts of millions. Israeli military bases and civilian communities were not spared, transforming ordinary streets into war zones. The devastation was staggering, with the death toll rising to at least 1,400 Israelis. Not just armed forces, but unarmed civilians and captured Israeli soldiers were taken across the border into the Gaza Strip. In response to this offensive, Israel retaliated with a series of airstrikes targeting Hamas forces. The Israeli military began a ground operation, clearing Hamas forces from affected areas. The retaliation was swift and fierce, reflecting the severe nature of the initial attack. But the impact of this conflict was not limited to the battlefield. The war led to the displacement of around 1 million Palestinians in Gaza. These were ordinary people, forced to leave their homes and everything they knew behind. Amidst the chaos and destruction, calls for a ceasefire began to echo from both sides, pleading for an end to the violence. Accusations of war crimes were also rampant, further complicating an already intricate and volatile situation. This conflict also strained Israel's relations with its neighbors, particularly Lebanon, leading to an exchange of fire between Hezbollah and Israeli forces. The ripple effects of this war were felt far beyond the borders of Israel and Gaza. In the midst of this turmoil, several countries including the United States, the United Kingdom and Germany stepped in to provide military aid to Israel. The world watched in trepidation as the conflict escalated, threatening to destabilize the already fragile peace in the region. The scale of destruction and human suffering has been immense and continues to escalate. The 2023 Israel-Hamas War serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict and the urgent need for peace. The ripples of this conflict have spread far and wide, affecting the global community. The international response to the ongoing Israel-Hamas war has been diverse and multifaceted. Several countries have stepped into the fray, extending military aid to Israel in the face of the escalating conflict. Prominent among these nations are the United States, United Kingdom and Germany, who have provided instrumental support. But the international response hasn't been limited to military assistance alone. The war has triggered accusations of war crimes from both sides, adding a layer of complexity to the situation. These allegations underscore the dire consequences of the conflict, not just for those directly involved, but for the broader global community as well. The world watches, caught between the need to prevent further escalation and the necessity to uphold international law. The conflict has also stoked tensions in neighboring regions. A significant example is the strain between Israel and Lebanon, with hostile exchanges between Hezbollah and Israeli forces adding fuel to the fire. This regional instability is a stark reminder of how localized conflicts can threaten to upset the delicate balance of peace in the broader Middle East. Moreover, the war has had repercussions on diplomatic relations as well. One key example is the impact on negotiations between Israel and Saudi Arabia to normalize their relations. These discussions, once seen as a beacon of hope for regional stability, have been overshadowed by the ongoing conflict. In conclusion, the international response to the Israel-Hamas war has been multifaceted, encompassing military aid, accusations of war crimes, regional tensions, and diplomatic ramifications. Each of these elements contributes to a complex tapestry of global reactions, reflecting the far-reaching implications of the conflict. As the war continues to unfold, the world watches on, grappling with the complexity of the situation and the urgent need for resolution. The international community watches and waits, as the future of the region hangs in the balance. The future is a mystery, yet history often provides a roadmap. As we journey through the intricate labyrinth of the Gaza-Israel conflict, we are reminded of its deep roots and the numerous attempts at peace that have faltered along the way. From the Oslo Accords to the Camp David summit, each promising a breakthrough, only to be met with further strife. A crucial element to consider is the political landscape of the Palestinian territories. It's been more than a decade and a half since the last national elections were held in 2006. This hiatus in democratic processes, coupled with the support among Palestinians for an armed struggle against Israel, has fueled the flames of this enduring conflict. This brings us to the question, how can this cycle of violence be broken? How can a roadmap for peace be charted amid such deeply ingrained hostilities? The answers are complex and elusive, yet the pursuit of these answers is paramount. As we reflect on the past and present, we must ask ourselves, what steps can be taken to break this cycle of violence and pave the way for a peaceful future?